for that.
Yeah, why would they do that?
Because Dan Fagan is here.
Oh, well.
You wouldn't believe some of the things people have said about over the years.
It's awful.
Pull that toward you. I mean, like especially like on the ADN. Yeah, good. That's good. Especially like on the ADN comment blogs.
Oh yeah, they're awful.
Well,
they're so mean.
But apparently, all the libs got together and they've decided to call me Oil Can Dan.
Yeah.
Because I
And Pagan Fagan now.
What's that?
Pagan Fagan.
Are you seriously? I've not heard that
was
one.
Mine.
Oh, that was you? Yeah, I've not heard that one. Tilt that down a little bit there. There you go. Up a little. Up, down a little. All right. Oh, no. Up.
It's going up on its own.
Okay. We'll go ahead and move it up a little bit.
We're adjusting Bonnie's
adjusting
camera and Dan's camera.
Yeah,
so.
that's okay. Whatever.
For the listeners.
Is that not good?
No, that's not good. Up, just come back toward you a little.
I'll come in there and fix them.
Exciting. Yeah, why don't you do that, Brian? Oh, there we go.
All right.
That's good. That's good there. All right. All right. We got our bearings.
Are you okay now?
I'm okay. Did you get my invites, Brian, on those other two?
You almost can't.
Yeah,
think
I'm on
unless
both of them. I've
Oh,
got
I
me
see
and
it.
Bonnie.
Oh, there you go. Now, for some reason, Bonnie's camera. Let me see. Let me adjust it. Here we go.
I wasn't gonna tell you.
Okay. There we go.
I don't mind.
All right, folks. We're getting our video streaming up and running, and yeah, we're trying to do too much here.
So did you hit the start live broadcast thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
it says start.
So people can find us on YouTube if they go look it up.
Yeah, that's right.
Under what, the Fagan Show?
Is that what you titled it, Dan?
It is.
Okay.
It
Yep.
is.
And we'll put a link up here in a minute, but
Yeah.
on Dan's Facebook.
There
We're
you
getting
go.
all techie here.
There
Yeah.
you go. That's right.
I know. For those of you who can't see right now, you should look because it's really interesting.
Well, a lot of people.
What does
you know,
interesting mean? What do you mean by interesting?
Oh, well, we're messing with cameras. It's kind of fun.
Oh, okay.
The research that I've seen on radio, especially morning drive radio, vast majority of people are listening on their actual radios.
Yes, please don't look at YouTube while driving.
Yeah, not a good idea. But if you are at your house and you want to,
If you ever wanted to see the inner workings.
yeah, you can
Because
see.
I always wanted to know what went on.
Yeah, there you go.
Was it as exciting as you had pictured?
It's more so.
Oh, good.
I love
okay.
it, especially when I get Dan all riled up.
You
I
got
love
me
it.
riled up.
Yeah, we
I had
got
to
video
call
of that.
I had to call and apologize to her.
Well, did you think I was going to forgive you, or did you think I was going to say,
If there's one thing that I don't know you that well, yeah, I don't know you that well.
no?
But I do know you enough to know that you are clearly someone who walks in forgiveness. You forgive people.
Yes, just ask my husband.
I'm sure. You are not the type of person who would
Love you, honey.
hold a grudge or, you cannot. And that's, as far as my understanding of Christianity, and I'm not to get all religious on you here, but there's just one thing that is absolutely not allowable in the Christian faith.
Mm-hmm.
You will not get into heaven. You will not be able to hear from God. You will not be able to have a relationship with God. I mean, I do believe you can sin and make mistakes.
Sure.
You don't have to be perfect.
Nobody
But there's one thing that is just absolutely taboo, not allowable, will block every good thing that could possibly come from God coming to you, which is unforgiveness.
That's right.
You cannot not forgive.
And sometimes you even have to forgive when the person doesn't ask for it.
Exactly.
Is there a time limit?
No,
well,
it's never too late.
It is never too late, but it's really it's
Unless God comes back, and then you're screwed.
But
No,
it makes perfect sense because none of us are perfect,
mm-hmm.
and we all want to be forgiven, right?
Sure.
So how can we possibly ask to be forgiven and yet not forgive ourselves, right?
Yeah.
It's the height of hypocrisy.
That's right.
And there's even a story in the Bible about it where this guy owes a ton of money to this rich dude,
Mm-hmm.
and the rich dude says, I need my money. I'm going to throw you and your family in jail. And the guy gets on his knees and he begs. He says, please, please, please forgive me. And the guy says, all right, go your way. So the dude who just had all this, I don't believe this is exactly the way it's written in the Bible, but the dude who just had all the money forgiven, he's walking down the street and he finds another guy who owes him just a tiny little bit of money.
Yeah.
And he goes up to that dude and says, hey man, I need my money, and if you don't, I'm gonna take you to jail.
Yeah.
Well, the rich dude hears about it and goes, well, wait a minute.
I forgave you everything.
Right, and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
We all want God to forgive us for our sins because we all sin, we all make mistakes. But if we're not going to forgive, it just cuts off the forgiveness spigot.
Spigot. Oh, I like
That's right.
that.
Yeah.
The forgiveness spigot.
In answer to your question, which you posed 20 minutes ago, did I think you would forgive me? Absolutely, because you are clearly someone who I think walks in peace. You have a calmness about you. You smile a lot.
Hmm.
You seem very happy,
I am.
and I would attribute that to you being someone who regularly forgives people.
I do. I forget about it the next day.
Yeah, it's harder for me.
By the next day.
What I have to do is I have to work on it because there are people who when I get mad at them and angry and I feel like they've wronged me and they've done something, I'll mentally try to forgive them, but then I'll think of them 3 or 4 days later and those sons of bitch, and it really makes me mad. But then I'll catch myself, and what I'll do is I'll literally pray for them. I'll say,
Oh, that's good.
God bless so and so, bring them blessings and prosperity and happiness and joy and whatever they need.
And all that junk.
And all that crap. But that's the way I do it. But it is not easy for me. It's not something that I just live in without a considerable amount of focus and effort.
It takes a lot of training and a lot of practice.
Well, it just takes it's just a decision you have to make.
Right.
And what I typically, the prayer that I usually say is, all the mercy you've shown me, God, show to them.
That's really good.
Well, it is, because my goodness, no one is less deserving of forgiveness on this planet than me with all the mistakes I've made. So how in the world can I possibly go around, right?
All of us are pretty bad off.
Well, I don't know. Some people are. I don't think Glenn's ever sinned.
Oh.
I don't, man. Guy's like an angel.
You're supposed to say bad things about him while he's gone,
No,
not good things.
I love Glenn Beagle. Glenn Beagle is, I'll tell you, man, this guy, he is something special. He's a 1 in a million kind of dude.
He's neat.
He really is. I wish I could be more like him. His unselfishness, his integrity, his character. He's special. The last 5-6 years, I've always dreamed about doing a show with him.
Wow. Cool.
And we've talked about it many times.
Yeah.
And finally we made it happen. 7:14.
Yeah.
And finally we made it happen. 7:14.
Fagan and Beagle. You're on with Fagan and Beagle in the morning on the Talk of the Valley.
I think that'll probably work. Can you see that, Brian? That shot? It looks a little crooked though. Can you? Yes, level it off. There you go. Now it's actually more crooked. Go the other way. Keep going. Keep going. Stop. All right, tilt down. Keep going. Keep going. Stop. Stop.
But it's
Stop.
going to come back.
I don't care. All right, down a little spec. Actually, that's pretty good there. Okay. What?
My husband said, "You guys are making me cry."
Seriously?
No.
What does that mean? So does he think
He's being
what does that mean?
he's being sarcastic.
So he thinks it's bad?
No,
What's he saying?
he's just being silly. He's saying you're being sentimental.
Let's see. Yeah, it's still crooked. Yeah. Yes. Perfect. Let's see. I don't want to get. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I don't have my adapter. I don't think I do. Let me check. Yeah, no, I hear you. Okay. Oh, I do. Oh, let's see. Well, you're gonna be doing this tomorrow, right? Or Monday. All right. So let's talk future. What do we need to make this thing go? Do we need another laptop? Okay, and then do I need another? Okay, should I order that online or should I get it? Can you get it in town? Well, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, so we get that into the laptop, and then we're set to go. Okay. I do like these shots much better because it's not the. Yeah. Are we actually on now? Yeah, you're right. It really does drown out my face when it's open. Yeah. Unless we actually had the thing lit. Yeah. Right. Bonnie, do me a favor. Move this very gently this way. Keep going. You haven't moved. Keep going. 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 Oh wait. Across the camera. All right. All right. That's good. That's good. All right. And then let me see your shot. Oh, no. No. Okay. Tilt your camera down there a spec. All right. Oh, yeah. Good. Okay. Yeah, that's good.
And I approve this message.
Paid for by Sullivan for U.S. Senate.
Hot Talk KOAN, man. You're on with Fagan and Beagle. 1080KOAN.com.
7:19. 7:19 is time. Fagan, Beagle, and Bonnie are good friends, Frank and Becky Earhart over at Earhart Roofing. What a great family this is. Their son James. They're the American dream come true. They started 42 years ago in the roofing business, and what do you know? 42 years later, they're now the premier roofing company in Alaska with 17 trucks, 60 employees. They can install a roof for you in 2 days. And oh, by the way, how confident are they in their workmanship? Well, that new roof comes with a 50-year guarantee. 50. That's half century guarantee. Frank and Becky, they're as patriotic as anyone you'll ever meet. They love this country. They're very engaged in the development of this state and the furthering of the free market. They're free market folks. The folks at Earhart Roofing will treat you right, do you right. Give them a call. Becky's in the office most days. Frank and James are out with the crews usually, but they will treat you right. I promise you that. Here's the number, 345-5555. 345-5555. That's Earhart Roofing. I'm Dan Fagan. There's Bonnie Cameron. She's right over there. And there's Glenn Beagle, who's not here. He's off today. But we're glad to have you here on the broadcast. Our telephone number, 569-1080. If you saw the debate on Channel 2 last night, we'd love to hear from you. 569-1080. Bonnie, you did not see it. I did not see it.
I did not. Did you watch the KAKM debate?
No. Because the only people who ever watch KAKM are hard leftists.
See, you say that, but whenever I was looking into politics and starting to get into it, and I wanted to know who to vote for an election, I'd always watch the KAKM debate. And that's the one I turned to.
I used to think that
right?
would be the least biased, but then
Yeah.
I learned better.
And
They're the
NPR was
worst.
involved.
Yeah.
They're actually the worst, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, their questions were not real different from any other debate.
It's frustrating that we allow leftists to control the debating process in our primary, but that's clearly what's happening.
You know, they made a big deal about the empty seat of Dan Sullivan, and I wanted to know what you thought of that. Do you think that was
empty seat?
He was not there.
Oh, he was not at the.
He declined the
at the
debate.
KCAM?
Yes.
If I was running for office, I wouldn't show up at KCAM either.
Really?
Those guys are so hard.
So you
left.
think that was strategic? But if he can't handle that debate, how's he going to
It's
handle
not that
Mark
he can't
Burgess?
handle it. There's just a bunch of leftists.
So he didn't even want to.
I wouldn't show.
Well, one of the points, too, was that debate was going out more to the state.
Yeah.
So to the rural
Well,
communities.
but
So
Channel 2
Ah.
statewide now
Yeah.
Channel 11. I don't know what Channel 11 is, but I think most of the channels are pretty much statewide now.
So you don't think it was strategic on his part or anything like that?
Strategic in that what? That he was afraid?
Well, yeah, maybe so.
Afraid of what?
That he didn't want to screw anything up or say anything wrong.
Well, if you're going to be afraid, you'd want to miss the Channel 2 debate because that's the one everybody's watching.
And I heard that was really good.
Was it?
I heard it was good. I didn't see
and
it.
Of course, you all your fellow cult members, they probably all said Joe Miller was the winner, right?
Well, I heard from a lot of other than cult members.
Other than Joe Miller cult members?
Yes, and they said it was great and that Joe won the debate handily.
Really? And they're not cult members?
No, they are not Joe Miller supporters actually.
They aren't. And who are these?
I don't know. I just read it on Twitter.
At
Quite
the
a few
beginning,
people.
at the beginning of this, we've had every candidate in here, and I was really undecided. And after
Really?
seeing all three of them, I really thought one of them very strongly. And since then, I've changed my mind after seeing those performances and seeing the other guy come back.
Toward who?
Joe Miller. I was
Wow.
for Dan Sullivan.
Wow.
And after seeing Joe Miller a few times, I just feel like he would be more likely to listen to me and reason rather than Dan Sullivan.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I will admit, Joe Miller will shock us on Tuesday.
Hmm.
I don't think he'll win, but I think he will beat Treadwell.
Well, he can't win unless people vote for him. There's my plug. And you keep saying that I like him, and I do. No. You say, all you say is you like him. You just like him. That's all I can say.
He is a deity to you.
No. He's just a man.
Yeah. He's as close to being a deity.
I think he's got a great stand on the issues, and I really do support him for that. Just about every issue. You name one, and I can say yes. That's it.
ACES.
Oh my gosh, dude. He says that it did not work. He worked under the independent. He talked with the independent small companies, oil companies, and they said it didn't work. So he agrees with them.
No,
that's not what he said. There's your diplomatic answer.
That's not what he said.
That's what I heard.
No, he said it did work for the independents. That's why he didn't want to criticize it.
No, they were saying that it did not work.
No,
and that's why he went with them.
He said it benefited some.
It said the reason that he wouldn't criticize ACES is because it helped the independents.
Oh.
And because people like him and the anti-oil populist movement hate the big three.
But he went and talked to the independents,
right?
And they were for yes on no or no on one.
Well,
no on one, not yes on one.
Well, and he was good for no on one also,
right,
wasn't
he's
he?
voting
he
no
said
on
he's going to vote for it. Yeah, but then he went on.
He's voting against.
But
one.
He made no sense because I've heard the clip many times.
Okay.
First he says this is not about ACES. Well, it is about ACES because you vote yes on one, it would go back to ACES.
Right.
Then he said the independents benefited, so that's why I won't criticize ACES. Well, the independents did benefit, but SB 21 has the same benefits that ACES did, so that made no sense. He made no sense. I am absolutely convinced, and I cannot prove this, but I am absolutely convinced the reason he would not criticize ACES is because of his favorite Alaskan, Sarah Palin. And just for those who are just joining us, Mr. Miller was asked last night who his favorite Alaskan was, and he said
Sarah Palin.
569-1080, 569-1080. Shelley, you're on.
Hi.
Hello.
I think a lot of us really conservative people respect Sarah and Joe because they come out and they tell us the truth and they touch subjects that other people won't touch. And I saw the debate last night and it was pre-taped, so they did not have an audience.
Oh, okay.
And Joe was the only one that was asked questions by everybody, the commentator and the other people running, and his answers were quick and decisive. And the other two stumbled, and I think if we want to beat, and I call him baggage because to me that's what he is, we need Joe. And I think you're doing a disservice trying to pump up Sullivan, yeah, I'm thinking of Ted, because I agree with Bonnie because she's got the right track. We need somebody to beat him, and it's going to be Tony.
Joe Miller.
Joe Miller, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So you've always been a Miller supporter from the beginning. You're not a recent convert?
I was going back and forth between the two. I'd never vote for Treadwell, but
why not?
because he changes his mind on everything. I've been here 40 years.
You don't buy his.
No,
I'm a conservative. All of a sudden, shtick.
no,
Yeah.
no. So I just wanted to let you know that it was pre-taped.
Okay.
And
Thank
so there
you.
wasn't an audience, and Miller came out 100%. And that's what we need because baggage is slick.
You're not worried, Shelley, that because Joe Miller was so beat up by the media last time and his negatives are so high that he'll have more of a difficult time beating Mark Begich than, say, a Dan Sullivan who has tons more money and much lower negatives?
Everybody makes mistakes, and you were just talking about forgiveness.
Yeah.
And, so Miller, yes, he's done some things in his life he probably wishes that he hadn't done.
Yeah.
But who of us couldn't be scrutinized and find something to bitch about? But, he's the only one that can beat Mark.
Thank you.
So that's just my opinion. And I love you, Bonnie. You're great.
Oh, thank you, Shelley.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Shelley. Appreciate the call. 569-1080, 569-1080 if you'd like to join in the broadcast. Fagan, Beagle, and Bonnie. Dave Steeran, that's right, the Dave Steeran is coming up on the broadcast. He'll be with us a little bit later on. Again, if you want to join us, 569-1080, 569-1080. We got calls backing up. We're going to get to your calls after this, but let's take a quick break. Fagan, Beagle, and Bonnie, we are streaming live on the air on 1080 KOAN. That's for audio. If you want to watch the show online, go to the Dan Fagan Show Facebook page, and you will see the link to watch us stream live. Stay with us.
I'm Ann Kendo with your Matsu report. A Western.
The audience, I guarantee you, probably 20% of them were homeschooled.
Yes. And I have a lot of friends who listen right now. So.
Yep. And I think it's much more true for an afternoon talk show than the morning drive show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Most of our listeners now work driving.
Yeah. And we were always preparing, getting ready for the morning, and just turning the radio on.
Well, like from now till 8, the amount of people with their radios on in their cars in this town right now is as high as it'll be.
Yeah.
So
don't you think that this radio station should have something at the fair, like handing out buttons or something to let people know about it? Because a lot of people just don't even know. And I have a lot of friends.
Well, did you see the streaming numbers on us? It's off the chart. That's audio. Yeah, that's just the audio stream. Yeah. Yeah, like the first day we were on the air, the amount of people streaming here, 35. So we went from literally nothing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we're on the air. So it was actually only 3 people watching. So, but I haven't advertised it yet. So I'd be one and you'd be one. The other one's probably my mom. Hey, Mom. Hey, Mom.
I have a friend in the Seattle airport who's listening.
Oh, are they watching streaming?
They might be.
Hey, Mom, I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you right now.
Brian, don't you think something at the fair would be good? Maybe next year. Yeah. Right, something.
We're doing buses.
I know. Bumper stickers or something. I mean, people love that stuff. I always loved going to the fair and taking my kids around to the radio booth and stuff. Yeah, right.
I hate that we have a different link every day. Oh, that's because I'm streaming. That's why it's not. Okay. But like right now on my Dad Fagan Show page, I have a logo that says Watch Live. Actually, I want to use your logo instead of the one she put on there. Can you email me that? Okay, okay, okay. Um, but like if they go to that website now, they'll just go to the regular page, which is not. But tomorrow we'll get it. That's fine. And then what I'm going to do is once we get it, I'm going to put, I'm going to advertise. I'm going to spend a ton of money on Facebook. That an ad will only appear from 6 to 9, and that should generate, a significant. In other words, that ad will be on the top of everybody's, you know, yeah. Yeah. Well, I've got 14,000 followers, but when I actually put a post up, and then I spend say $50 to advertise, it'll say that 20,000 will see it in Alaska, just Alaska, and then I can even narrow it just for Anchorage in the Valley, which wouldn't be 20,000, probably be about 6,000. So you got to figure we're going to get, you know, these. Let's see. I'm trying to get. I can't get this thing. I can't cut and paste this. I think you're going to need to email it to me, Brian. Oh no no no! Oh no no! Wait, you know what? That's not the one I want. I want the Go ahead and email it to me. I love the one that says Fagan, Beagle, and Bonnie Show in the on air with the microphone. That's a really good looking logo. And plus, when people see it, they'll know to click on it.
Same Jeff?
Different
Oh,
Jeff.
okay.
Okay, good. Yeah, just so you know, even if we only get 10 listeners, I never take the same call twice. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Ben. Yeah, send it to my FaganReport@me.com if you don't mind. I didn't realize I had. Check. Okay. Are we close coming back? Seriously. Honestly. What are you writing?
Thoughts. I will lose them if I don't write them down.
Well, where do they go?
Just like Glenn in that.
Where do they go?
They go somewhere and then they come back when I'm in the shower.
It doesn't help us. Give me one thing you wrote down. No, come on, just one thing. Actually, don't worry about it. We'll do this on air. Okay, thanks, man.
Sales.com. Payless Car Sales, where Alaskans drive.
You're on with Fagan and Beagle on Hot Talk KOAN and online at 1080 KOAN.
7:36 on a Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, it's Friday. It's Friday.
It is
How about
Friday.
that?
I had to think about that.
Congratulations, you made it to Friday. And you know what? You made it to Friday, but can you make it to retirement and have a retirement that you dream of, where that you are financially secure? You don't have to worry about money. You don't have to go work at Walmart as a greeter. Well, Mike Daniels and his team at Country Financial They have 13 locations in Alaska, 5 in the Valley, 5 in Anchorage, and they're going to get you on a track heading toward retirement by making decisions that they're going to pay off huge for you when you decide it's time to quit working and enjoy your retirement years. His team, Mike Daniels' team at Country Financial, they're the best. They're the best in the state. Frankly, they're the best in the country at getting you to a place where you don't have to worry about making ends meet when it comes time to retire. Their experts are so knowledgeable. They have so much wisdom. They're going to ask you the right questions, financial planning questions. Look, folks, we all have a lot on our plate. It's impossible for us to stay up with all the new information and all the wisdom out there regarding financial planning. Well, that's what the folks at Country Financial can do for you. Give them a call. Their number, 866-COUNTRY. 866-COUNTRY. Country is spelled
COUNTRY.
That's right. Country Financial, Mike Daniels, 866-COUNTRY. Dave Steeran, the one and only, coming up a little bit later on in the broadcast. 7:38 is the time. Our number, 569-1080. 569-1080. I'm Dan Fagan. There's Bonnie Cameron right over there. Glenn Beagle's off today. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff, you're on.
Hey, Dan. Yeah, no, I agree. Joe Miller's a very good speaker, and he's got a good stage presence. But, throughout history, there's been a lot of good speakers who are dangerous people, and his rhetoric on a lot of things, especially the immigration issue, is very disturbing. And
disturbing in what way?
Well, by saying 20 million people, illegal gangsters, are here to destroy America, which is ridiculous.
Well,
he didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
His mailer implied that. That's
No,
exactly what he sent out. Yes.
Well, I don't know if you heard the other day. I had some heartache with his mailer, and that he showed some real thuggish-looking guys with tattoos, and clearly they were gangsters. And then he says that Mark Begich wants them to be able to vote, and I thought that was disingenuous. The one gripe I have with Joe Miller, other than taking a stand against ACEs, is that he does seem to be pretty loose with his accusations. He says Treadwell and Miller are for amnesty just because
Sullivan.
Treadwell and Sullivan are for amnesty just because they're of their supporters when they clearly say they aren't. But I don't think he's dangerous. Joe Miller's dangerous.
Well, I think in a lot of ways he is. But when you look at the immigration issue, for example, amnesty, this word gets thrown around, and it's like a dangerous word, and if you get accused of that, you're in the sights of a lot of people. But I have a friend who's an immigration attorney, and there's a lot of people here illegally, right? But for a variety of reasons. Recently, there was a wife here in Anchorage, a wife of a military soldier who he was never able to. He had a lawyer, did the paperwork incorrectly. It's the wife of an American Army soldier who was here illegally for a long time. Should we deport her? I mean, it got fixed.
She was here illegally?
Oh, yeah, because, many people who are here illegally aren't ones who hop over the border and come here and try to,
Well, about half of them were here on a work visa, and then it expired, and they just stayed.
And that is a felony to come into the country illegally. It is.
Okay, I agree, but a lot of people didn't come here illegally, and a lot of people are victims of this huge bureaucratic.
Then we need to fix that.
We should fix that, but a lot of people aren't talking about fixing that. They don't want to fix it. So.
Well, do you think our borders should be secure?
Well, of course, no one's saying borders shouldn't be secure. Of course.
I would disagree with that. I think Mr. Obama is very happy that our borders are wide open.
Yeah, we live in the 21st century, and people and capital need to be able to move freely among borders of countries if they want to be competitive in the world. Why do you think?
So why
Canada
have a country?
Why do you think Canada and Australia are doing so well when it comes to immigration? They have a good policy which allows good people who are educated, who have skills, to come into their country. My friend was here for 10 years. He was here for 10 years working at an accounting firm, and he couldn't get a green card because our system is so screwed up. You know what he did? He applied to immigrate to Canada in less than a year, without even setting foot in Canada. He was given the equivalent of a Canadian green card. He's in Canada right now, raising his family in Canada, working, and he left this country because our system is so screwed up.
Well, Jeff, I don't disagree with it. We should streamline the process for those who want to come here legally and play by the rules. That's not really the issue. The issue is...
That is the issue. That's part of the issue.
Well, I mean, let's fix that. I agree with that, and I don't think that those who are, calling for immigration reform say that we shouldn't streamline it for the people who want to do it by the book. The problem is we have a lawless president, and the Democratic Party, but really by and large is a lawless party, and they don't believe in the sovereignty of the United States. They don't believe we should enforce our immigration laws.
Another misconception about this lawlessness is Congress gave the president many years ago a lot of power when it comes to this issue. And as far as I know, President Obama is not doing anything lawless. He's acting within the constraints of the power that Congress gave him a long time ago.
By not enforcing immigration laws.
What law is he not enforcing?
We're not deporting people who break into our country.
My husband was a customs officer on the Canadian-Washington border, and he was willing to fill out the 3 feet of paperwork it took to turn somebody away, and his supervisors, who were under Obama, told him no, let them in, even if people had fake IDs, freshly printed money. No, he was told to let them through into our borders.
That sounds anecdotal. Why weren't they allowed in? I mean, I don't understand.
You tell me.
Because our president is a lawless president. He's against he doesn't believe the sovereignty of the United States. He wants to see more immigrants here because it enhances his power and his movement's power.
We need more immigrants here.
My word.
We do need more immigrants, but not illegal immigrants.
And
Canada, you understand the difference.
Canada is not the banner country for, immigration. I lived there. I lived right on the border, 20 minutes from Canada, and you cannot believe the people who flooded into the country every single day, 30,000 of them at one port into the U.S.
from Canada
to shop and to go to our doctors because they love the U.S., but they can't get in here legally right away. We need to fix that, not just let them in. It is a cesspool there.
Jeff, thank you for your call. We got to take a break. We got calls back it up. Jay, you're next. 569-1080, 569-1080. Fagan, Beagle, Bonnie. Dave Sterrett coming up. 7:44 is the time.
Just sit there, give them a call. 569-1080. Join the conversation. KOAN.
This is Dr. Ellenberg. Are you tired of taking medications? Do your medications create more side effects than solutions? Do you want more than 15 minutes? If you answer yes to those questions, you should consider calling the Ellenberg Center for Natural Medicine. At our center, we take the time to listen and focus on finding the cause of your health problems. Whether you have a cold, high blood pressure, diabetes, or cancer, we can help. Call the Ellenberg Center for Natural Medicine at 563-2366 or visit us online at drellenberg.com. We can help.
Joe Miller, family man, decorated combat veteran, judge, conservative leader.
I'm running for U.S. Senate because I am a believer. I believe government should balance its budget just like our families do. That's why I support balancing the budget by law, so we stop Washington politicians from looting the Treasury. I believe in the rule of law. That's why I support the aggressive enforcement of Americans' immigration laws and why I oppose amnesty for illegal immigrants. It's also why Barack Obama should be impeached. I believe in life and liberty. That's why I'm endorsed by leading pro-life and pro-gun rights organizations. I believe in family. With 8 wonderful children and a loving wife, I want every Alaskan son and daughter to have their shot at the American dream. I'm Joe Miller, and I approve this message because we must restore the America we love.
Paid for and approved by citizens for Joe Miller.
Trail Boss Solutions is your local award-winning, nationally recognized construction and remodel firm. From handyman services to kitchen design and remodel to custom home construction, Trail Boss Solutions has the experienced professionals to take your project from initial design through completion, on time and on budget. Trail Boss Solutions is the only call for all your construction, design, and remodel needs. Please visit us on the web at trailboss-solutions.com or contact Trail Boss Solutions direct at 646-1403.
As you drive the 2014 C-Class sports sedan and feel the agility control suspension lean expertly into a bend, you're not just turning a corner, you're turning a page. Because it's at that moment you discover the C-Class has left your old notions about a sports sedan far behind. With its direct injection engine, the C-Class delivers both superior efficiency and power, giving you an electrifying experience that exists only behind the wheel of one of the most stylish and luxurious automobiles of its kind. The 2014 C-Class rewrites the book on what a sports sedan can be. Get the 2014 C300 4MATIC sports sedan starting at $39,400.
MSRP for a 2014 C300 4MATIC sports sedan excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep. Options, model availability, and actual dealer price may vary. See dealer for details.
Mercedes-Benz of Anchorage. The best or nothing.
You're on with Fagan and Beagle in the morning. Give him a call, 569-1080.
$7:48, Fagan, Beagle, and Bonnie, our friends at Chugach Chiropractic. They're helping me out. They're hooking a brother up. I've been on this Shape Reclaim program now almost 2 full weeks, 2.5 weeks, I guess. I'm down 9 pounds. Glenn Beagle lost 45. Everyone we've talked to who's gotten on this plan has lost weight. And it's pretty easy. You just eat healthy. And they guide you, they help you, and they motivate you. Dr. Myron Schweigert, Dr. Madden over at Chugach Chiropractic. They will help you lose weight. Shape Reclaimed is the name of the program. Give them a call, 694-9224. I get weight in here in another week or so. I'll tell you how many more poundage I've lost, how much more poundage. 694-9224, Chugach Chiropractic. I'll give you the number one more time. Here it is. You ready? 694-9224. All right, Bonnie Cameron right over there. Glenn Beagle not here. He's off. Dave Stearns on deck. I'm Dan Fagan. Let's take some calls. 569-1080. If you saw the debate last night, I'd like to hear from you. If you want to tell us who you're voting for in the Senate race, I'd like to hear from you. 569-1080. Let's go to Jay. Jay, you're on.
Hey, Dan, thanks. And I think that's cool. You guys are losing a lot of weight, and doing it publicly is probably going to encourage some other folks. That wasn't what I called about, but good luck with that.
Thank you, Jay.
Hey, listen, I did watch the debate last night. I wanted to make a comment on the gentleman's immigration stuff, but I did watch the debate last night, and since the beginning of the race, I've been a huge Treadwell fan. I've heard him speak a few times, and I've just watched kind of what he's done in terms of policy and the things that he's supported, and I thought I really liked him. But I hadn't watched any of the debates, and I went from definitely Treadwell to, wow, I'm iffy.
Wow, what did he say that made you skeptical?
Yeah, there were a couple of things. He came across as petty a bit to me. I think you take a page from back in Reagan's day when people would make fun of him, he'd turn it into a joke. When Treadwell was talking about Sullivan putting his head on a different body, he just was all bent out of shape. And he could have made that funny. He could have injected humor. He could have made it not personal and still made his point. He could have said, why don't you pick out a supermodel, or why didn't you get a bodybuilder? And I think it would have come across better. I think he came across petty. And I think the mayonnaise, the argument, if Dan's ideas are better, I'll vote for him. I don't care how long he's been here. I'm sorry. To me, it's how well you think. I mean, there's dumb people that have lived their whole life here.
That's
right.
right.
And there's great people that have lived their whole life here.
Yeah.
What matters to me is ideas. And
how long have you lived here, Jay?
I've lived here since '06.
Okay, so you're not a Johnny. You're an official Alaskan. I don't know what I've been here almost.
Chichaco.
I've been here almost 19, 20 years, and I mean, my first 10 years, nobody really thought I was an Alaskan. I don't know what the cutoff is until you officially become an Alaskan. I think that's just such a silly thing anyway. If you're here, you're an Alaskan, right?
Well, I think you've got to meet the minimum residency requirements. I'd like you to be here a year.
Yeah.
You need to be. you can't move here just to run.
Right.
But I think you marry a girl here and you stay, and I'm not in Sullivan's camp because they just have irritated me. I've had like 37 surveys and robocalls, and between them and Begich, I'm like, gee, golly, guys.
Too much, huh?
I'd like to, you know, I can read your stance on the internet, and I can watch TV. You're not going to convince me by interrupting my family time.
So you have a landline?
Yeah, I do.
Well, there's your problem.
Old-fashioned, yeah.
Do you have an ankle bracelet?
I'm old-fashioned. But anyway,
he evaded that.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Jay. What was it that initially attracted you to Treadwell, and other than his pettiness, is there anything he said issue-wise that has pulled you away from him? And who are you leaning toward now?
Well, you know, I still think I'll probably end up voting for him, but I thought Joe Miller came across a lot better. Issue-wise, I thought that again, it was more his demeanor, like when they were talking about the Law of the Sea Treaty, and Miller said, hey, you know, there may be some good things for Alaska, but we decreased U.S. sovereignty. I think it's a bad idea. And then Treadwell's like, well, you're disgusting. You know, and I was
he said
like,
those
okay.
words?
Yes. He said, yeah, I think that's disgusting. He did say that. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. You can't come across that way. And, you know, Begich's going to have more money. If you manage to make yourself look unprofessional, you just are going to, I mean, it's a nice, soft, slow pitch. And Miller's answer was spot on. He said, you know, I get it. You worked hard on it. I didn't say it quite like that. There's some things that are good for Alaska. I think we can preserve those things, but I think bilateral treaties preserve the sovereignty of the U.S. more so than this Law of the Sea Treaty that gives power to the UN.
Well,
and
you know,
I was like, you know what? That's a good answer.
Treadwell has been a rabid supporter of the Law of the Sea. I've seen clips of him speaking at World Affairs Councils across the country, saying that this is a must. Now that he's running in the primary, he's kind of waffled on that a little bit. There are a lot of people, Jay, who believe that Treadwell's kind of putting on a little bit of an act, and that he's much closer to Lisa Murkowski and what he believes than what he's putting on. You think there's any validity to that?
You know, I didn't, but I mean, like I said, you know, I don't know if there is or not, but just watching the debate, it was a big turnoff, and I was from solid in his camp to very questionable.
So what
I liked him as a lieutenant governor. I mean, I have trouble naming specific policies, but comparing this administration to the last, I think, you know, they're better on taxes, they're better on limiting things, and watching these guys, and I'm like, you know, they're not exactly where I am, but they're closer than the bunch it was in before.
What do you think about him writing in Lisa Murkowski in the 2010 general election?
You know, that's a personal choice. I don't. I mean, if that was who he thought was the best candidate, I think that's fine. I did not vote for Murkowski, and you know, I didn't vote for her in the primary because she's left of where I'd like to be, and you know, but I do think you know, I do think that's his choice, and if he's more centrist.
Well, he has donated to her 2016 her 2016 campaign.
So this is a funny. I don't know how you guys will take it, but that was one of the questions on one of the robocalls. You know, does it bother you that Treadwell has donated to Democrats, and I guess Murkowski, you know, being a centrist Republican or a left of center Republican, and does it bother you that he, you know, has, you know, paid money to buy a property next to his house so there wouldn't be something he didn't want built there? And I was like, no, it's his money.
Yeah, that's right.
If I wanted to tell people what to do with their own money, I'd vote for Begich.
It just shows me who he's in support of. That's just my personal opinion.
And to me, that's kind of a non-issue. I mean,
even if he did, you know, donated to Democrats too. Yeah,
it really does. If he thought they were the best candidate. Now, if I had him in my house and I could say, okay, what about this Democrat did you like? Because I voted for a couple of Democrats. There's a couple of times the Republican stinks. I mean, you know, I don't usually, I mean, if most of the Republicans are too far to the left for me, that means that it's very rare that the Democrat's better. But, you know, I've been voting a long time, and there have been occasions I've liked the Democrat better.
Jay, I appreciate your call.
Hey, have a good day, man.
Thank you. I'm telling you. Joe Miller's going to beat me Treadwell on Tuesday.
Do you think that Dan Sullivan and Meade Treadwell might split the vote?
I don't think so. I think most Republicans, unlike you and your husband, are focused on beating Begich, and I think most have come to the conclusion that Dan Sullivan by far has the better chance in that. And I think that's what's motivating them.
Because, see, we're focused on beating Begich, too. We just want Joe Miller.
Right. But you really can't say that. That is an oxymoron. You cannot say
That's
we're
your
focused
opinion.
on beating Begich.
Well, Joe, if he wins the primary, Dan said he would support him. So.
Well, I'll support Donald Duck if he's running against Begich.
Well, Dan Sullivan said he'd report him, too.
Yeah.
You just don't think he can raise money from Karl Rove and John McCain and Susan
I just
Collins?
think the 65% of Alaskans who are terrified of Joe Miller, we're not going to win enough of them.
Here we go with that statistic again.
We're not going to get enough of them to vote against Begich. And the money interest, all the native corporations, all those folks, they're all going to go toward Begich because
They're going to do that anyway. They're not going to go
Not
for
all
Dan
of them.
Sullivan.
Not all of them. 7:58. Dave Sterin. That's right. Dave Sterin is next. Stay with us. Sterin. That's right. Dave Sterin is next. Stay with us.
Hey, look. More fresh halibut arriving in the seafood departments at New Sagaya and City Market. You can buy the whole cleaned and headed halibut for just $12.99 a pound. That's a good deal. And of course, the fastest blades in the West behind the seafood counter will be happy to cut your fish into fillets, steaks, or whatever you like, no extra charge. And if salmon is your favorite, New Sagaya and City Market are featuring whole, cleaned, air-fresh coho salmon. The wonderful silvers, just $5.99 a pound. Can't catch them for that. New Sagaya and City Market. In the butcher shop at New Sagaya and City Market, a great price on boneless, skinless chicken thighs, only $2.99 a pound. Everybody loves barbecued chicken, so heat up the barbecue and invite all the neighbors for a cookout. At this low price, you can afford to feed them all. Boneless, skinless chicken thighs, $2.99 a pound, New Sagaya and City Market. Nice special in the produce department on Columbine Vineyards red and green seedless grapes, just $2.99 a pound. Bring the gunny sack. New Sagaya Midtown and City Market 13th and 9th.
You're listening to Hot Talk and Breaking News, 1080 AM KOAN Anchorage, and retranslated at 95.5 FM on K238BE Anchorage.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pam Puso. Before he was shot and killed by police, authorities say a Missouri teenager was in the area of where a store had just been robbed. Fox News Radio's Jessica Gallagher live in Ferguson.
Pam, after days of waiting, Ferguson Police Chief Thomas Jackson identifying Darren Wilson as the officer involved in the fatal shooting of unarmed teenager Michael Brown. Wilson, along with other officers, was responding to an alleged strong-arm robbery at a local convenience store. Chief Thomas Jackson.
At 12:01 p.m., our officer encountered Michael Brown on Canfield Drive. At 12:04, a second officer arrived on the scene.
Jackson says several shots were fired after a struggle inside Officer Wilson's car. The police chief failed to say whether Brown was a suspect in the robbery. Officer Wilson is on administrative leave. Pam.
Thanks, Jessica. Moments from now, we're expecting to hear from Missouri Governor Jay Nixon. In a statement, the governor saying he'll continue to call for openness and transparency to ensure that trust is restored and justice is done. Reports out of Russia that shipments of humanitarian aid have sparked fierce fighting in Ukraine. Fox News Radio's Simon Owen live in our European Bureau.
Pam, Russia's foreign ministry accusing Ukraine of engaging in fighting to try and stop aid supplies getting into the country. 200 Russian trucks are waiting close to the border, carrying what Russia says are supplies for civilians trapped by the unrest. Ukraine's president says a number of Russian military machines entered Ukraine last night and that Ukrainian forces have destroyed most of them. There's no word on casualties. Pam.
Thank you, Simon. When a Malaysia Airlines jet was shot down over eastern Ukraine last month, 298 people were killed. So far, Dutch authorities say only 127 of them have been identified. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Attention homeowners, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans. We've told you about HARP in the past. There are so many more of you who could be saving hundreds of dollars every month on your mortgage. It's simple and easy. And for 4 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. To learn more, call 800-QUICKEN.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender license, law 50 states, and MLS number 3030.
Do you owe the IRS over $10,000 in back taxes? Have unfiled returns or under audit? Do you owe payroll taxes? Are your wages being garnished or your bank account levied? The IRS continues to ramp up their collection efforts. Tax Defense Partners can help. Tax Defense Partners will completely handle your case for you and deal with the IRS on your behalf, and can negotiate a settlement of up to 85% off the original amount owed, including penalties and interest if you qualify. Call Tax Defense Partners now at 866-TAX-DEFENSE. That's 866-829-3333 or taxdefensepartners.com.
O'Reilly. If it's hard to stop or you hear squealing and grinding noises during braking, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts. You'll find the brake parts you need from trusted brands like BrakeBest Select, and Wagner Thermo Quiet at everyday low prices. Play it safe with brake parts from O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Who was the last Alaska governor to see 16,000 new jobs created on his watch? Was it Wally Hickel, Jay Hammond, Bill Egan? The last governor to see 16,000 new jobs is our current governor, Sean Parnell. Alaska is in the middle of a jobs boom. Since Sean Parnell took office, the Alaska economy has produced some 16,000 new jobs. And you can bet there are more jobs coming. Listen to Jim Huffman, president of a trucking company in Fairbanks.
This year we are buying new trucks, hiring new people. I could put 20 truck drivers to work tomorrow if we could find them. I give the credit to Governor Parnell.
Alaska's economy is back on track. 16,000 new Alaska jobs since Sean Parnell became our governor. That's why Parnell 2014, Box 100719, Anchorage, paid for this message.
Paid for by Vote No on 1 Anchorage, Alaska 99509. Leslie Ajukovich, Bob Berto, Rick Meister, Linda Leary, and Rick Boyles, co-chairs, approve this message. Top contributors are BP Anchorage, Alaska, and ExxonMobil Anchorage, Alaska. And supported by 500 Alaska small businesses, labor unions, native corporations, and community groups.
Some say Measure 1 is only about big oil. It's not. More than 500 Alaska small businesses, leading labor unions, Republicans have joined to oppose. Voting no protects and will grow our economy. Tiffany, teacher and mother of 2 young children, is voting.
It seems confusing, but it is not about big oil companies. It's about what's best for.
On August 19th, join this statewide movement. For our families, our jobs, and our future, vote no on Measure 1.
Glenn, every once in a while you find a hidden gem right here in Anchorage.
You're talking about the Snow Leopard Boutique.
I am.
Owner Eileen Bear has an amazing eye for beauty.
For decorating ideas, it doesn't get any better than Snow Leopard Boutique.
They have 2,400 square feet of everything you need to beautify yourself and your home.
Glenn, I noticed a calming atmosphere the moment I walked in.
Dan, how about those chocolate truffles?
Yeah, and you can wash them down with a free latte.
The Snow Leopard Boutique.
At the corner of Tudor and Old Sword.
Hot Talk KOAN, man. You're on with Fagan and Beagle. 1080KOAN.com.
All right, I'm getting my bearings here. Give me a minute. I'm doing too much. I've got too much going on here.
Fantasy Baseball League online again, Fagan.
It's
a show, Fagan. It's a show.
I'm nervous.
Focus.
I'm nervous. I'm not used to having.
You're not used to it.
Such a celebrity in the studio.
I'm usually getting my cucumber slices on my eyeballs about this time every morning.
Just in case you just tuned in, your ears are not deceiving you.
You're not on KFQD. You're looking at your dial going, what the hell is that?
That actually is the voice of the man we affectionately called for years Super Dave. Now, now he is officially Dave Steeran.
Just Dave.
Host of the wildly popular Dave Starin broadcast Monday through Friday, 2 to 5 in the afternoon on KFQD. He's here in the studio.
I'm here to give you your SAG card. Welcome to the Screen Actors Guild.
I am beyond shocked that you accepted my invitation.
You're shocked. You're shocked. There's a lot of things that I regret.
You don't regret this already.
I do not regret the Baileys that I put in this to get me through the morning.
For those watching on the internet, this is a
oh my God,
gift.
is that thing pointing at me?
This is a cigar.
Is this TSA?
And I'll tell you how much I appreciate
Do I
that.
have to disrobe now?
I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you bringing a gift, and it's great to see you.
Bonnie, at any point, if you want to go to your car and have a good cry, it's okay. It's okay. It's good to be here.
How long have you been doing the Dave Starin Show from 2 to 5?
Well, there was a time back in the day where a young kid with a dream would be driving to Costco, and the former host of the Dan Fagan Show in the afternoon would say, I'm on the 14th hole. What are you talking about? I'm on the 14th hole. Dude, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. Yeah! You want to do the show? And after that, it went up. So I got my show, July 5th of 2010.
4 years.
4 years.
To July 5th, so about 4 years and a month.
Yeah.
In 10 days.
I figured I'm such a good employee, I'll have the first show on a company holiday. For Paige from Fagan, never read the employee handbook. I had no idea it was a company holiday. So when they said, when are you going to start the show? I said, well, July 5th is a Monday. Might as well start on a Monday, right?
Yeah.
We start the show on a Tuesday.
Right.
And everybody looked at me like, okay. And I figured, I walk into the building and nobody's there. I go up to the studio and Amber was my producer at the time. And I said, where is everybody? It's a holiday. And then it just, boop. Are we the only people in the building? That's right, rookie. We're the only ones.
Welcome to your first day.
Glad to be here on my day off.
So you went back home?
No. You brought Garing, baby. We did the show.
Beautiful.
Did the show. I was committed.
Well, you've been rolling in the afternoon ever since, and you also have branched out into other endeavors. You own an ad agency.
Well, as you know, and this is why you run your very successful offshore gambling website. Pokerhack.com for those of you.
It's betfagan.com.
Is it betfagan?
That's right.
Is that always been on black?
That's right.
So a couple years ago, everybody in life has those either-or decisions. I mean, everybody does. And I was doing the show and working full-time at the airport, and around that time that you start to have those conversations with your spouse or whomever in your life, and the idea of you're in communications, you communicate a lot. Why don't you go into some sort of marketing advertising business? And my partner Marianne Pruitt and I,
who's a wonderful person.
She's short and Sicilian. That is a whole different dynamic for me.
Yes.
She gets her Sicilian on every once in a while, and so we formed PS Strategies, and it's a full service advertising agency, and that is the meal money. The radio show keeps me in fine cigars, but PS Strategies, psstrategies.com. Google us, #boldly effective. That puts gas in the tank.
And I hear things are going really well for you.
We're very busy. It's weird to the backdrop of this debate on ballot measure 1, and everybody's out there waving signs and they're saying we're busier than we've ever been. The hardest thing to find is people. I can't imagine employees. I can't imagine Doug Smith, friend of ours at Little Red Services. If he needed 6 welders tomorrow, he could not get 6 welders tomorrow. If CH2M Hill or ASRC needed guys in their fab shops a week from now, they don't have them. Everybody post passage of 21 is just busy, and that's been one of our challenges, is finding that person. Because we got less than 5% unemployment in Anchorage.
Yeah.
Everybody's busy. We are right on the cusp of the good times rolling again.
And don't you think that's bringing people in from other states to come up here and move up here and work for the oil company?
My God, I hope so.
Yeah.
That's
what we've
quickest way to strangle business is to have no employees to work at your business.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could have clients, you could have capital, you could have a great business plan. You don't have people, you're done.
Well, and people, complain about, they're not hiring Alaskans. Well, Alaskans have jobs.
Yeah.
they're having to bring people up, which is also a good thing.
You know, Dave, you've been in broadcasting some considerable time now. I have too, and I know we both have moments that stand out in our career. And I will tell you, I think one of the most vivid moments that has resonated in my brain permanently is a conversation I was having with a former half-term governor, and we were talking about the cruise ship tax initiative. And to say that she didn't even begin to understand it would be an understatement.
That's generous.
And I remember so vividly the immediate phone call after my conversation with her was from a guy we used to call Super Dave.
Mm-hmm.
And he went off on her in a way that, frankly, it still makes my heart tingle. It was he was so strong. Your call was so strong because she honestly did not even begin to understand this cruise ship initiative.
No.
Not even close.
No.
And Dave called right after and just laid it out, just line by line, point by point.
Did she say it's our water?
No. What
she didn't know.
She was talking about what was it that she said that was so? Do you remember?
Oh, I guess it's like guys that are deployed to Mogadishu or Afghanistan. It's such a violent reaction to the mind. I've tried to blot it out. I mean, but line by line, she didn't grasp any aspect of what she was talking about.
The first thing about it, didn't get it.
And the cruise ship initiative, fairly benign. I mean, in regards to its structure, to what it did, to what it established, to what it didn't establish. I just giggle myself silly when she wants to wax nostalgic on ACEs, which is over the top complex, and yet she purports to be an expert on that. Hollis French is an expert on that. Sarah Palin, not so much.
Dave Sterin, the one and only. I can't believe he's here. Do you ever think you'd meet this guy?
You want me to pinch your chin? I am taller than you thought I'd be.
Have you ever met him before, Bob?
No, I haven't, but I've listened.
Oh, don't do that.
No,
that just makes you angry.
No, I've listened when you were calling
in
the
day.
Dan show.
Back in the day.
Dave Sterin in the studio with us, host of the Dave Sterin broadcast on KFQD Monday through Friday, 2 to 5 in the afternoon. He'll be back with us. We'll take your calls, 569-1080, 569-1080. Time currently 8:14. 569-1080, 569-1080. Time currently 8:14.
You're on with Fagan and Beagle in the morning on the Talk of the Valley, KVNT, 92.5 FM, 1020 AM.
The 2014 Blues Train departs Anchorage for Seward on Saturday, September 20th. Imagine traveling through the most breathtaking scenery that Alaska has to offer, all while listening to the great sounds of the Iris Sellers Band. Add your favorite cocktail, and some righteous appetizers, and you'll have this year's Blues Train. Once you arrive in Seward, you'll be treated to a barbecue and a party.
Judge, conservative leader.
I'm running for U.S. Senate because I am a believer. I believe government should balance its budget just like our families do. That's why I support balancing the budget by law, so we stop Washington politicians from looting the Treasury. I believe in the rule of law. That's why I support the aggressive enforcement of America's immigration laws and why I oppose amnesty for illegal immigrants. It's also why Barack Obama should be impeached. I believe in life and liberty. That's why I'm endorsed by leading pro-life and pro-gun rights organizations. I believe in family. With 8 wonderful children and a loving wife, I want every Alaskan son and daughter to have their shot at the American dream. I'm Joe Miller, and I approve this message because we must restore the America we love.
Paid for and approved by Citizens for Joe Miller.
Hey, if you think all you need to know about beer is how to pop the top off the can, go to worldclassbeer.com. There's a whole world of beer out there, and worldclassbeer.com can help you navigate it. Learn the difference between an ale and a lager at Beer U. Get descriptions of all the craft beers and learn why they're so different. And when you see one you'd like to try, the Beer Spy Locator can direct you to the closest store. Worldclassbeer.com, designed to help you get closer to your beer. Brought to you by the Odom Corporation. Always drink responsibly.
Well, howdy, I'm Nick Worthington Ford, Giant Worthington Ford.
Come to Worthington Ford if you want a great selection of cars and trucks, and if you want to save money.
We've got over 1,000 vehicles to choose from with 0% financing available on every one.
That includes new and used vehicles.
Plus, get some great discounts, and you can use your PFD today. Take a look.
Here's a Chevy Cobalt for $49.50 and a Toyota Corolla for $89.50. And if you're looking for a 4x4, check these out.
Here's a Ford F350, just $89.50. And here's a Dodge 1500, just $10,900.
Plus, every vehicle is certified and under warranty. And remember, 0% financing is available on all vehicles, new and used. And you can use your PFD today.
It's Giant Worthington Ford on Gamble, open till midnight.
Stock numbers 07 Cobalt 147-372H, 04 1500 SQ16748, 97 F350 147-315A, 09 Corolla Q1263A. 0% financing on approved credit, subject to prior sale. See dealer for details. Ends 8/21/2014.
Who's the conservative Republican who can beat Mark Begich? Dan Sullivan's a Marine whose roots in Alaska go back over 20 years. As Alaska's Attorney General and DNR Commissioner, Sullivan supported our hunting and fishing rights and fought to expand access to our lands. And Sullivan stood strong against the Obama administration, suing to stop Obamacare, fighting against federal overreach, and jump-starting jobs and energy production throughout Alaska. Now Sullivan is running for the U.S. Senate to cut wasteful spending, rein in Obama's EPA, and take care of our veterans. In the Senate, Sullivan will vote to repeal and replace Obamacare and fight for a balanced budget amendment to stop the Washington politicians from bankrupting America. On August 19th, vote for Dan Sullivan, the conservative Republican who will beat Mark Begich.
I'm Dan Sullivan, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Sullivan for U.S. Senate.
You're on with Fagan and Beagle on Hot Talk KOAN and online at 1080KOAN.com.
8:19, Fagan, Beagle, and Bonnie on a Friday morning, August 15th. Our friends over at Alaska Neurology Center, you know, there's no reason to go through life tired, groggy, sleepy. If you have trouble sleeping at night, there's a reason for it, and there's no better facility in Anchorage that is better geared toward helping you get a good night's sleep than the folks at Alaska Neurology Center. They have 5 different rooms set up where you can spend the night there, and they will work with you and study you and come to the understanding of why you don't sleep at night. And you will get your first good night's sleep in years if you allow the folks at the Alaska Neurology Center to help you. We've talked to folks who've just absolutely blown away at how different their life is when it involves a good night's sleep. You know, we kind of get used to things in life, right? Well, if you've been sleeping poorly for years, you really don't know what you're missing out on. Go see the folks at Alaska Neurology Center. They're in the old Borders bookstore right there on the Old Sword Highway in Diamond. Here's their number. They're not open yet, so leave a message and they'll call you back. 565-6000. 565-6000. Alaska Neurology Center. I feel like I'm dreaming. I can't believe this is true. That the one and only Dave Stearns star.
You're happier to see me than my honeymoon night. Nobody was this excited on my honeymoon night.
The star
100 degrees
of the Dave Stearns Show. And not only did he bring himself,
which I did,
which is more than enough, he brought me a fancy cigar.
Bonnie, would you care for a cigar?
No, thank
Are
you.
you sure?
Unless it's a Swisher. No. Oh, did I just say that?
Are you a cigar aficionado?
I have smoked a couple cigars in my life, but I don't think I've ever finished one.
I want to ask Dave about the debate last night, but let me see if we can get some calls lined up for you first. 569-1080. Look
Thank
at that.
you.
Another cigar. All right. Wow.
I don't know if I know what to do with this.
Pop the window, Fagan. Come on. It's Friday.
You have one?
What?
You have one?
I brought a lighter. If you
have one, we'll
I got
light
my
them up
humidor
right now.
out in the truck.
We'll pay the price.
Bottom of the hour. I'll go grab one.
Is it against the law, first of all, to smoke in a
Every single one. Every law in America.
No, honestly, I know.
No, you can't do that.
You can't.
No, you can't.
I know management will get upset, but is it against the law?
Yeah.
That's really what I'm worried about.
Yeah, Mayor Sullivan will come in with the tobacco squad.
You'll get a ticket, but they have to catch you,
They have to catch us.
right?
Pretty sure announcing it on
But I will
radio.
call the cops. So no, just kidding.
Wow. Wow. Who's that guy?
He's a former employee of ours.
Wow. We have some lovely parting gifts for him.
Brian, you smoked the cigar? No.
No.
569-1080 is the number if you'd like to talk to the one and
He
only.
gets his groceries from the natural pantry.
The one and
You're
only.
not supposed to say
Dave Steering right here. 569-1080. Rob.
Oh, Eminem.
Hello, Rob.
Hi, Dan. It's great to hear you back on the radio.
Thank
Dan.
you.
Thanks. You know, it seems like I can't believe it's been that long since that you've been gone now, and Dave's been on. But it seems like I remember one of the first times Dave filled in for you that your dad was sick, and he was a little apprehensive that first few shows there. It was pretty interesting.
Dave was apprehensive, you mean?
Well, I don't know. It just he's certainly hitting his stride now, and he's
it's incredible.
Daily raising the bar. It's pretty cool.
Thank you, Rob.
And the ratings have been phenomenal. I know
Rob,
you've
your
done-
quarterly check is en route if you have not cashed that yet.
Hey, Dan, real quick, about the Senate race, I remember when the governor had, some people that he was hiring and he kind of went out of bounds and was hiring his friends, and you were trying to get the attorney general to call you on the show, and he never would call. And I remember at one time late on a Friday afternoon, he called and said, "Yeah, I'll get back with you, Dan, and we'll talk about this." And he never did call back. And I always thought he was afraid to talk to you. And
Well,
that's
You're
I
talking
don't know
about
if
the
you
Nancy
remember that.
Dahlstrom, Gene Theriot thing?
Yeah.
You remember that, Dave?
I do.
Parnell
Yeah.
tried to hire sitting legislators when the law says that they have to sit out a year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What I said was at the time is that you say a lot of stupid things. I'm sure, Dave, there are things you said that you probably wish you hadn't. But I said that meanwhile, Attorney General Dan Sullivan is sitting in a fetal position under his desk.
Yeah.
Not doing anything.
That was a good
about
line.
it. Well, for
That was
a
a pretty good line.
Marine, to say that about a Marine, you maybe want to choose your words a little better. And I love Sullivan. I'm going to vote for him. But at the time, I thought he should have been a little more aggressive. Well, of course, he heard that and called immediately and challenged me on it, as he should have. And then he said he'd get back in touch with me, and he never did. But all that matters is that Dahlstrom and Theriot resigned because it was an illegal hiring. Whether Mr. Sullivan went to the governor in private and said, "Governor, you can't do this," and he just wanted to save face for the governor, which I would have no problem with doing, right, Dave? All that matters is the result.
Yep.
So, I don't know what happened with that. We never did hear back from him on it. But the bottom line is, Rob, the right thing was done in the end.
Yeah, true. But I just want to say that last year you were at the show, Dan, man, that was just such awesome radio. It was just so many things were going on, and it was just a joy to listen to you, and it still is now. I appreciate you. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. So you saw the debate last night.
Oh, boy.
Dave.
Oh,
I
boy.
didn't see it. Me, Treadwell, I hear, was a bit grumpy.
Well, first of all, there's just too damn many debates.
Yeah.
There are too many debates. I know there was one on public something or another the other day, and Sullivan didn't go to that, and people say, he's ducking that. Yeah. Why? Have you ever had a conservative finish a debate or an event hosted by NPR or public television and say, "By God, that really helped me.
That's right.
Those questions were pointed and helped me express my position." It never happens.
No.
You know who shows up to those debates? People who got no money.
That's right.
I got no money. Can I go
right.
on statewide TV
That's right.
and tell you about how wonderful I am and all the dead people that I know? That's what happened.
I disagree. I think you're making excuses for him.
It's a left-leaning.
I don't care.
Me-
It's for
I-
the people.
Wait a
It's not
minute.
about
Wait a
him.
minute.
It's
Wait a
for
minute.
the people.
2010.
It's for the voters.
2010. Your guy ducked a debate hosted by the Alaska Dispatch after they put poor Tony Hopfinger in some sort of S&M outfit the day prior. Don't tell me about ducking.
Okay, that's not happening this time.
Well, no, because now S&M is mainstream, and
I
if you
still
tie somebody
think
up,
you're
it's
making
perfectly.
excuses for Dan Sullivan, who owed it to the voters to be there, and that's just all there is to it.
Okay, that's well, and that's all there is to it. Did you watch the debate last night?
No.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I missed
oh,
it.
all of a sudden.
I can see the risk of
Yes.
losing you. Joe.
Wow.
You know, now, just wait. This is going to shock you. Regularly, Joe Miller performs best on televised.
That doesn't shock me. I already know that.
but I'm saying it, which
Well,
makes
okay,
it
Someone who's not blinded by their admiration for Mr. Miller.
No, okay, so Glenn had a good point, though. Yesterday, he said...
When did he say that? Where is he?
Glenn.
Oh, my God, I'm blind drunk. Glenn Beagle said, Glenn, I'm sorry. Glenn! Yesterday he said it.
Yesterday,
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Glenn Beagle
I'm a fifth.
said, and this is what he supposes, that whoever doesn't show up at a debate, he loses it, and he loses voters. Do you agree with that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Did Tony?
So you don't think being an empty seat?
Did Joe Miller? Did Joe Miller lose the election when he didn't show up for the Alaska Dispatch debate?
I don't know. I don't remember that one.
Did Sarah Palin lose the race between Tony Knowles and Andrew Halcrow when she didn't show up at the BP debate?
So you think that he's got it in the bag, and that's why he didn't show up?
Sullivan?
Yeah.
I don't
like
think anybody
he
has
had
it in
nothing
the
to
bag.
lose. He had nothing to lose.
I don't think anybody has it in the bag.
I think he's going to win double digits.
He only
Really?
only could go down.
I think
if he
Miller
made a
will beat
mistake.
Treadwell, though.
I think Miller comes in second.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I saw that last night.
Now, what was Treadwell's problem last night? Was he on a period or something?
You know, wow. Please note that was not the host of the Dave Steeren Show on KFQD saying.
Well, I heard he was grumpy. He was grouchy.
I get the sense that the debates, the conversations, and the behind-the-scenes stuff, the Sullivan and Miller people probably agree to disagree, but whether they both served in the military,
there's a camaraderie.
whether they both have just a feathers bit of difference between the candidates on most issues, I think they kind of shrug their shoulders and go, yeah, okay, whatever. I think Treadwell, and Joe pointed this out very well, Treadwell's positions have evolved, and in a Republican primary, you can't be the guy that's having an evolved position. And when Miller pointed that out, Treadwell was defensive.
Yeah.
When the candidates had opportunities to ask each other questions, a proper debate technique, ask your opponent a question that allows you to answer and espouse your beliefs. Treadwell used it to attack Joe, he used it to attack Dan, and he came across as small and petty.
That's what I read online comments.
Exactly what happened. Miller and Sullivan used their questions properly.
Do you buy the Treadwell shtick? Government spends too much, snoops too much, taxes too much, or is that an act?
He's $100,000 upside down in spending in his campaign. What are we talking about?
Dave Steeren.
What are we talking about?
Dave Steeren. That's right, the Dave Steeren, right here in the studio. 829-569-1080. 569-1080. Stay with us. 1080. 569-1080. Stay with us.
Fagan and Beagle on Hot Talk KOAN and online at 1080KOAN.com.
Local news brought to you by Jansen Funeral Homes, Jansen's Evergreen Memorial Chapel, Jansen's Alaska Cremation Center, and Jansen's Eagle River Funeral Home. Jansen Funeral Homes, where just like family, they're there when you need them.
With KOAN News, I'm Ann Kenda. A western Alaska man has found the tusk of a long-extinct woolly mammoth in Fish River. It's somewhere between 12,000 and 400,000 years old. In an amazing coincidence, Andrew Harrelson's mother had found a woolly mammoth tusk in that location 22 years ago, when Andrew was 3 years old. He says he has a dim memory of his mother's find. A woman wanted for allegedly kidnapping her daughter in violation of a custody order in Juneau more than a year ago has been found in California. 27-year-old Jessica Rodriguez now faces charges, and the child is being returned to her father. Tourists are beginning to arrive in Palmer for the Alaska State Fair, which starts August 21st and runs through September 1st. A number of big-name bands are taking part this year.
Yeah, Yeah, no, he's good.
Way down. Yeah.
You got the same one? Huh. So the station owner just sent Brian a text, said light him up. Is that illegal?
Do we care?
Does he
If
pay
you
the
said
rent?
it.
He owns the building, I guess.
Well,
He
then
pays
we-
the rent.
We need that.
You guys want to line him up? No, let's do it.
I got the Truly Vodka people coming in this afternoon. Get a little. I'll get some cups with some water in the bottom.
Yeah, Brown will get it. I can't believe it. It's like Rush Limbaugh. He smokes cigars, but it's out of his house.
You resemble Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, really? I've never heard that.
I thought I'd be the first to tell you.
Throwing Liberty in there.
Do you want to sell some tea?
Tea. We're doing
Rush's tea. He sells tea.
What? I don't listen
Yeah.
to Limbaugh.
Oh my gosh.
I listen to Spirit.
Okay, don't drink that.
Oh, look at Spirit. There's water in it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pro. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you didn't have water, it'd be like that.
You kidding me?
It's out?
You got a lighter?
No.
Oh, somebody's watching.
That's all right. Hi.
Something important.
You got a match? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Bless
he'll
your
have
heart.
one.
How close are we? Okay.
I don't know.
Plenty of time. Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to like
Yeah,
moisten
she
it up?
didn't know that you didn't inhale.
The double mouth.
Yeah.
No Sullivan.
Didn't even know where it was.
No Sullivan.
Didn't even know where
Sullivan
it was.
inhale.
Snip the tip.
Oh, that smells good, Dave.
This tip?
Oh, that smells good.
Don't inhale, but yeah.
You got yours lit already?
No, I gotta. When you're.
So do you have to like moisten it?
No, you should be
This is gonna smell like smoke for like a week.
Glenn's gonna be like, what is going on?
Hide it from Father Glenn.
Father Glenn.
These kids are gonna get a contact tobacco high.
Oh, this is.
In the seafood departments at New Sagayan City Market. You can buy the whole clean.
Do we toast evil now?
Is that right?
I'm not hearing
You're doing a
anything.
great job.
Charge. And if salmon is your favorite, New.
Oh, gotcha. Let's see, what do I got left? Okay. Is it warm in here? Is that heat on? Is it warm, Dave?
I'm definitely warmed
It's a little
up.
toasty.
Okay. Let me fix that.
Mm. Yeah, it smells.
At least there's no heavy foam wall covering to hold that smell forever.
So you don't inhale.
No, you put it in your mouth. You don't swallow. You just keep it in your
Oh,
mouth.
okay.
Savor it. No, honestly, is that how you? No, look. Mm-hmm. You hold it a little longer.
I inhaled. I can't help it.
You know, like all those times you smoke pot, same thing.
Is there a garbage can when you yak? I mean, that's
all right.
the best part is her face on all of this. The cigar tastes great.
The salespeople are looking at here going, are they allowed to do that?
We've crossed the Rubicon now. There's no going back, Fagan.
I'll tell you,
influence.
I got. Actually, I'm going to save it for the show, but I got a thought on Dave Steering cigars.
Trying to save her.
Yeah, if you get it in your lungs, you're gonna puke.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's not normal. Or pass out.
We won't take pictures of you passed out. We will take pictures of you passed out.
From auto and home insurance.
Get a picture.
We want a good ash first before we do.
Oh.
Visit countryfinancial.com or call 1-866-COUNTRY. Country Financial. Grow your own way.
You're on with Fagan and Beagle in the morning. Give him a call, 569-1080.
KOAN.
8:36 on this Friday morning, August 15th. Winter's upon us. You want to have reliable transportation. Our good friend Ali Sheik over at Payless Car Sales. He's the fastest growing used car dealer in Alaska now. He's the second largest used car lot, and he does that. He's been able to grow that fast because he builds his relationship with his customers one at a time. He's not about making the quick buck. He wants to offer you a vehicle that'll make you come back time and time again, tell your friends, tell your neighbors. That's the model in which Ali Sheik has built his business around at Payless Car Sales. He characterizes his dealership as an entry-level luxury used car dealership. So beautiful, beautiful vehicles. He's got a great relationship with the military folk because, let's face it, nobody's getting rich in the military, and buying an expensive car really isn't that much of an option for them. But with Ali Sheik at Payless Car Sales, he'll put you in a car that will make you proud, and yet it won't cost you an arm and a leg. Go see him over on 5th Avenue, 919 East 5th Avenue. Tell Ollie that Glenn and I sent you. He'll treat you right, I promise. Payless Car Sales, 919 5th Avenue. I remember about a week or two ago, I was on Facebook, and there was a picture of Dave Starrin, and I believe it was your brother-in-law. And I think I was so struck and so moved by the power that picture presented.
It was an angry picture.
You made Tony Soprano look like Richard Simmons in this picture. I have never seen a man look more powerful than you smoking a cigar on this picture on Facebook. And now I'm seeing Dave Starrin right here in the flesh,
right here in studio,
smoking a cigar, and it's even more. You look even more intimidating.
If we were really smoking cigars, we are theoretically smoking cigars for the office of the municipality. But in theory, were we to be really smoking cigars, this would be the earliest we probably had a cigar without golf clubs in our hands or,
I didn't know this was legal. I didn't know you could do this.
My God, man. Remember that whole side venture business a few years ago I talked with you about? This is why we can't have that side venture business.
I just hope I don't.
Are we really moving pot up the Alcan? No, we're moving agricultural products through Canada.
Even Bonnie Cameron is attempting, and I'll be
Hi, Mom.
As good as Dave looks smoking the cigar. Unfortunately, Bonnie, I would have to say that the opposite is true.
You're making a little bit of a Lily Tomlin face.
Yeah,
there.
you're just not.
You got a Lily Tomlin.
You got to grab the thing.
That's what you did.
Yeah, no. I didn't do anything close to resembling that.
Okay, this is what you do.
No.
That is what you did.
No, that's not what I did.
When you were trying to show her.
It was a side cheek. Yes, it was.
You what you do is, and she didn't even know, Dave, that you don't inhale cigars, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, my mother's watching this, and this is going to be big trouble for me. But sometimes you got to just.
You're totally turning me to the bad side here.
You
that's
take
no
the
good
smoke, you
at all.
put it in your mouth, you savor it, hold it, and then release it. That's it. You don't even have to. See, here's what you did. You blew it out. You just release it.
Okay.
Now try it again. This time, just release it. Release. Just open your mouth. There you go. Look how Dave's handling that. That's how you smoke a cigar.
I don't think I want to become a pro here.
I just can't. This room is going to smell like a cigar for a month.
I tell you what, Beagle's going to show up on Monday.
He's going to go, what in the world?
Words are going to come out of his Catholic mouth that he has not uttered since he was at St. Benedict's Monastery back in the day.
Mike Robbins, who's the entrepreneur of this particular radio station,
he can pay the fine.
He sent Brian a text and light him up. So, we're just following the. We got permission.
I am a guest.
You're a guest.
I mean,
you hold no responsibility for this,
This is like Russia and the U.S. You got KOAN and KFQD here having cigars together in the morning.
We rolled out the red carpet for you.
That's right.
Détente. That's right.
Now, Dave, my good friend, you and I kind of cut our teeth on the Sarah Palin years. That's kind of where we got delved into this whole thing. And
bless her ignorant heart.
I got to ask you, man, what is going on with this woman? What does she honestly believe now that she sees how the evidence is so overwhelming that ACES was such a flawed policy? she must now realize that it was a huge mistake. She must now realize that she's aligning herself with Les Guerra and Hollis French. What's going on here, Dave? Is this really all about her ego?
Well, you'll remember, Dan, that when O.J. was acquitted, he was going to use his time on the planet to search every golf course in America and find the real killers.
Right.
You will recall that Sarah Palin, when she quit, was going to use her time on the planet to further the agenda of resource development and the causes of Alaska.
That's right.
Well, O.J. roughed up a guy in Vegas.
Yes, he did.
And Sarah Palin is giving keynote speeches at the Black & Decker annual conference in what was Sheboygan, Ohio, or wherever.
Right.
One of them's parlayed it into Don't Drop the Soap, the other one into a home in Arizona, a home here, subsidizing her kids and things like that. Sarah Palin, and from a radio standpoint, I'll be glad when she's gone. Because think of this. Think of all the intelligent women that we have as legislators in the state of Alaska.
Yeah.
Kathy Giesel is a rock star.
Yes.
Top of the rotation
Yep.
in regards to that. And a Faircloth, Sharice Millett, you have people who are smart, capable legislators, gender be damned.
Right.
And then she prances in. Now, what message does she send? CPAC's annual conference. There was a panel of 4 women, wicked smart women, talking about how the GOP and conservatives don't understand how to discuss women's issues. And then 10 minutes later, who gives a keynote address? Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
The antithesis of what those women were talking about.
Yeah.
She is brilliant, and I'm partners in an ad agency at PS Strategy. She is brilliant at building her brand, but she is the poison pill in the female conservative movement in this country.
Well, Dave, you know, I think a legitimate argument could be made that with her latest push to keep ACEs on the books, that if she's successful enough to sway enough voters to vote yes on Prop 1, that she will clearly go down in history as the single Alaska that has done more damage to the state's economy than anyone in our history. Would you agree with that?
I would absolutely agree with that. There is no disputing the danger of populists.
Yes.
The populist is the most dangerous political figure. You can don't just look in Alaska. Look historically around the globe. They raise the masses, and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to get the people who have and give it to the people who don't.
Yep.
And that's Sarah Palin.
Dave Starin, the one and only. We got one more segment with him. It's so smoky in here, I cannot see Bonnie and Dave across the table. 569 and 80. 569 1080. 844 is the time. 569 and 80. 569 1080. 844 is the time.
Don't you see? You're on with Fagan and Beagle.
That is President Ron Paul.
What?
He wrote him in.
Oh. You lit up good there?
Oh, no. That's all right.
Okay, are you lit up good enough?
No, I don't.
You sure?
I'm good.
What's that? Okay. Yeah, gotcha.
She is an amazing individual. She is.
We had
Coke and Pepsi would die
to
have the resiliency of their brand that she has in her. And I don't get how really smart people in the lower 48 don't see through that. You know, back in the presidential campaign, all of the dumb things the left attacked her on, they never did the work of looking at her record. It was all just sitting there.
And the worst was the conservative media. To hear Limbaugh and Hannity and these guys going on about how she's such a true conservative. Ugh. I lost all respect for national conservative media.
And Hannity won't let that go.
No.
He's still.
Yeah.
Joe said there was a question through 3 candidates. Talk about this in the air or not, doesn't matter. Who do you admire? Meet Treadwell, the dead Wally Hickel, Dan Sullivan, the deceased Ted Stevens, Joe Miller, Sarah Palin. I almost, but it was Bombay, spit out my gin and tonic.
Yeah.
Almost.
You know, I asked him about aces. He praised it. He would not.
Populist mark.
Absolutely.
Joe is a populist.
Absolutely.
And that is dangerous.
Joe does not want to take from the rich.
What does the phrase crony capitalism mean to you?
Well, because...
Don't answer a question with a question. 2 minutes? 2 minutes from the 2 minutes?
Crony capitalism is when you give one company a leg up using the government over another.
Right.
Not giving a company a competitive investment environment.
See, I think the vote yes people, some of them are so pro-Constitution, and that's what he is. Wouldn't you agree he's like pro-Constitution?
Who is anti-Constitution?
Don't answer a question with a question.
I don't understand what pro-Constitution is.
He's wanting so bad to follow the Constitution, but they're going about it a different way. Just because they want to, vote yes or whatever, they think that taxing the oil companies are more productive for Alaska.
Increasing the size of government.
I don't think that's what
enabling the expansion of programs. What do they want?
No, I don't think.
How can you be a constitutionalist and support government taking
Prize sale. See dealer for details. Ends 8/21/2014.
Hot Talk KOAN, man. You're on with Fagan and Beagle. 1080 KOAN.
I can't see the cues. It's too smoky in here. 8:48. I know somebody's going to get in trouble for this.
On a foggy day.
Somebody's
Not
going
me.
In London town.
Someone's going to.
I do have the text, so.
Someone's going to get
I
arrested.
feel like I
or-
need to play pool or something.
What is the municipal code on smoking indoors in an office building where the public comes?
That would require. Oh, this isn't a public building.
It isn't?
No, this
Okay.
is a private building.
All right. Well, I'm just.
As far as I know.
But as far as workplace, yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's working here, son. I know what's going on here.
Dave Staird's in here.
I repudiate your definition.
Not in here. you're right.
Irregardless, phraseology that you are incorporating.
The one and only Dave Staird.
What the hell am I doing here? Don't we have a traffic report to get to?
Host of the Dave Staird Show, Monday through Friday, 2 to 5, KFQD. As though you don't know, everybody listens to Dave. The answer that you cited during the break, which I thought was really telling, the three candidates last night in the debate, who's your favorite Alaskan? Wally Hickle for Treadwell, no surprise there. Ted
He's
Stevens.
like the Hickle whisperer.
Well, that's another thing that scares me about Treadwell. I don't like that owner state stuff. You?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's. I don't like that stuff.
How can I'll let you continue your thought. I apologize. I'm a guest here. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. What's the point?
How can you, in the conservative Republican, and Treadwell's now a conservative, invoke the ghost of Wally Hickle? Sarah Palin, populist, has invoked the ghost.
Yeah.
Yes, on ballot measure 1 has invoked the ghost. Bill Walker has invoked the ghost.
Yeah.
And the only dude, Wally Hickle Jr., who has said, my dad would vote no, everybody's ignoring.
That's right.
Everybody's ignoring
even.
Wally Hickle Jr.
Yeah.
Hey, what? My dad wouldn't have supported this. This is bunk. Malcolm Roberts, Bill Wielechowski, the Hickle whisperer, Meade Treadwell, they all seem to be channeling Wally to suit their purposes.
So Joe Miller's an anti-populist.
He is looking for votes in that vein.
But I mean, what does he really believe in his core? I think he's an anti-populist. I think he's going to vote for Bill Walker for governor.
Oh yeah.
You believe that?
Oh, I no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind that he will. What since 2010 has Joe done to build a coalition of the various groups and entities who he needs to beat Mark Begich? I asked him that on the show the other day. I said, Joe, I like you. I hate your staff. Your staff are a bunch of angry, bitter people. But you, I could have a beer with you any day of the week. We'd be just fine. But what are you going to do to the establishment voter who you've campaigned against for 4 years, whose vote you're going to need to beat Begich?
Yeah.
Well, Jay, if they want to play ball with me, they'll play ball with me. And if not, to hell with them.
That's pretty good.
That's not an answer.
That's
that is
not
a recipe for disaster.
It's not as good as your Shannon Moore, but that's pretty good.
Seriously, I don't know who she is. I recall somebody.
That's by the way,
Boshuda Dan Fagan.
the greatest moments of the Dan Fagan Show on KFQD were when Dave Stair would
Back in
call
the day.
up as Shannon Moore.
Hello, Dan.
By far give us a little.
Dan, why do you care so much about my uterus, Dan? I mean, seriously? Gosh, why don't you just ask me out? Why do you conservatives always want to be with me?
Oh, that's so funny. Now,
Pivot from that. Can't be done.
Dave Stair's here with us. You know, Dave, my dear friend Bonnie Cameron, bless her heart.
She's gonna. You guys are gonna have a meeting.
Bless your heart
after
on me.
Bless her
Don't
heart.
Bless her heart.
your heart me.
She's, bless her so much. And
It's good to have land.
Always know something bad's coming when he says bless your heart.
Few people are as articulate as you, David. Maybe you can help me bring her back to reality. But she honestly says and apparently believes that Joe Miller has a better chance of beating Mark Begich in the general than Sullivan does. Can you talk some sense into my homegirl over here?
And can you...
What is different? Let's use Mark Begich's logic for just a minute, and let's use Joe Miller's logic for just a minute. Joe Miller has said in previous campaign stops and speeches that there's very little difference between Mark Begich and Lisa Murkowski. He has said that.
Okay.
He got beat by a person who wasn't on the ballot. If you follow both Joe and Mark's stream of logic, let's just take two completely different people who have said the same thing. If he lost to someone whose name wasn't on the ballot, and by his own admission has not changed his views or his game plan in the past 4 years, how can he beat someone whose name is on the ballot, who he says is no different than the person who beats him?
Okay, well, first of all, he's running against Mark Begich. That's who he'd be running against.
Right.
Okay,
Tell him that.
So that's a huge difference.
Tell him that.
According to Dan, that's a huge difference even between Lisa Murkowski and Mark Begich. Second of all, that was 4 years ago. People are a lot more fed up with this country and the way it's going than they were 4 years ago, and especially against Lisa Murkowski. So those are my top two reasons.
Okay.
And third,
tactically though,
he can talk on his feet better than Dan Sullivan.
I would agree with that.
He can clearly state his issues to where people can actually understand them, and they know where he stands on the issue. And he's gonna smoke Mark Begich of any of those three.
If Joe
he is gonna
Miller
smoke Mark
doesn't
Begich
win,
in the debate.
If Joe Miller doesn't win, will you follow his lead that he said last night, and he will support the primary winner? Will Miller supporters support and follow the lead of Joe, the primary winner?
And I said that I was still undecided, but I'm more likely to now that he's said he would. But that doesn't matter because he's going to win the primary.
Well, I mean, then we're arguing how many angels fit on the head of a pin, because it doesn't matter.
Well, so the thing is that I think just as much as you think Dan Sullivan is going to beat Mark Begich.
That's Fagan.
I think that Joe Miller has
I've never
a better
said
chance.
Dan Sullivan. I've never said anybody can beat Mark Begich.
Okay, well,
You think Begich could beat Sullivan?
I think right now, listening to this program, are individuals who are the head of different Republican clubs across the state. And I have seen emails from board members to other board members sharing Democrat Party press releases attacking GOP candidates within the primary. You know who isn't going to beat Mark Begich? The Republican Party.
Yes.
Joe Miller could, Meade Treadwell could, Dan Sullivan could. But you know why they can't today? And maybe it changes in a few months. Because everyone else who has to do phone calls, go door to door, hang flyers, man phone banks, they'll think this race is about them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't think this race is about beating Mark Begich.
That's right. I said that, but not as articulately. That's it. You know, it's like there's people like Bonnie and the Miller followers, Dave. They honestly assign more blame for the way this country is now to John Boehner and to the Republican Party than Mark Begich and Barack Obama.
They're losing us by giving in so much. They are.
What are they supposed to do?
The small, minute portion of us could swing a vote either way, and they need us.
Bonnie, what are we supposed to do? They control the Senate and the White House. What can Republicans do?
Well, we got into that the other day with the House.
What can the House do? Dave, what can the House do?
The House could have shut down the
Shut down the government and stopped sending out Social Security checks.
They could have shut down Obama. Oh,
That's
they
a
could
good strategy.
defund. They could have defunded Obama.
That's a good strategy.
But you need the Senate to pass that.
The House, all funding begins in the House. So they could have defunded Obamacare.
We could argue about this for hours, right? And it would still accomplish nothing.
I think I'm frustrating you just as much as I frustrate Dan.
Let's get, since we have the great Dave Sterin here in the studio, let's get some predictions from you. Assuming, well, first of all, how do you see the primary and the Senate race coming out? Give us some percentages, first, second, third.
You know, I would say Sullivan is average in Anchorage, but his structure is solid statewide.
Yeah.
He has the reach to Barrow, to rural Alaska.
Native wife.
Yeah.
I don't know if that works.
But I think realistically, structure wins campaigns.
Yeah.
Joe Miller.
Ground game.
Joe Miller had $1 million in the bank because Murkowski outstructured him in the general. I think Joe comes in second because of the passion of his supporters.
I agree.
And I think Meade never got started.
No.
5-month head start and never got started. That's a guy that kicked me out of the balcony at the last debate.
Do you see?
I'm going to smoke a lot of cigars in here.
Do you see any chance of Joe Miller pulling out a surprise victory?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
I do too.
Voter get out. Voter
afraid.
turnout.
Yeah.
I think a Miller person spontaneously just plays a stigmata when they see his picture.
Do you see any way Mark Begich losing to Joe Miller?
Not today.
I don't see
Not
it
today.
within 15 points.
But I thought it was anybody but Begich. Won't Dan Sullivan supporters and Meade Treadwell supporters support Joe Miller?
No, that's not what I said. I said the internal structure of the party is not unified. Dan will support Joe. Meade will support Joe.
Don't you think their supporters will?
That they're not the party. They're people.
Such a pleasure. I can't tell you how grateful I am for you to come in.
I'll bring bacon.
Thank you for the cigar.
You don't mean that.
No, I do.
Dave Sterin.
Tune in today.
The only one, 2 o'clock today. KFQD.
KFQD.
Dave Sterin Show. Thanks, Dave. Have a great weekend, folks. See you Monday. 2 o'clock today. KFQD.
KFQD.
Dave Sterin Show. Thanks, Dave. Have a great weekend, folks. See you Monday.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to Fagan and Beagle. Thanks for tuning in to Fagan and